Arsenal starting 11 vs Manchester United. Confirmed team news and predicted lineup. Arsenal predicted lineup vs Manchester United as Arteta weighs late calls. Arsenal head into Sunday's Premier League meeting with Manchester United knowing that selection, not sentiment, will shape the afternoon. Fresh from a confidence-boosting European win in midweek, Mikel Arteta is expected to restore several senior figures to his starting 11, while managing fitness carefully in a squad that is beginning to feel the demands of the season. Arteta managing fitness before key fixture. Arteta confirmed this week that he will make late calls on the involvement of several players, though the overall picture is encouraging. Should all go to plan, only Max Dowman is expected to miss out, leaving Arsenal close to full strength for the visit of Manchester United. Riccardo Calafiori has been sidelined for around a month and, even if declared fit, is unlikely to be rushed straight back into the starting lineup. In his absence, Jurrien Timber has impressed at left back, offering control in possession and defensive reliability, making him a strong candidate to retain his place. The broader theme is caution rather than urgency. Arsenal's medical team and coaching staff are keen to avoid setbacks, particularly with a busy run of fixtures looming. That measured approach has been a hallmark of Arteta's tenure and is again shaping his selection process, midfield and defense set for rotation. One of the clearest indicators of Arsenal's intentions comes from the midweek win over Inter Milan, when Gabriel, Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard were all left out of the starting 11. That decision now looks like a calculated rotation rather than a shift in hierarchy, with all three expected to return for the weekend. Rice's presence will be key against a United midfield that blends experience with emerging talent, while Odegaard's creativity between the lines remains central to Arsenal's attacking structure. Gabriel's return at centre-back is also significant, particularly given the aerial and physical demands posed by United's forward options. Arteta has shown repeatedly that he is prepared to rotate when necessary, but his strongest side is usually reserved for league fixtures of this magnitude. The expectation is that Arsenal will look far more familiar on Sunday than they did in Europe. Attacking choices shaping Arsenal approach. Further forward, the spotlight is again on Victor Gyökeres. Arteta has continued to back the striker in recent weeks, determined to give him the platform to build confidence and rhythm. That faith is unlikely to waver now, and another start would underline the manager's belief in his long-term value to the team. The more nuanced decision comes on the left wing. Leandro Trossard has been consistently productive this season, offering intelligence and end product, while Gabriel Martinelli provided a sharp reminder of his explosiveness with a lively cameo against Inter. Arteta must decide whether to reward form or lean into impact, a choice that could influence how Arsenal stretch United's defense. Gabriel Jesus, meanwhile, arrives buoyed by a brace in midweek, adding another layer of competition in the final third and giving Arteta flexibility in how he structures his front line. Predicted Arsenal 11 and match details. There is also cautious optimism surrounding Kai Havertz. Arteta confirmed the forward is very close to a return after a prolonged absence, though his reintegration will be gradual. The manager stressed the importance of managing minutes carefully, acknowledging both the length of the layoff and Arsenal's need to use Havertz intelligently across multiple positions. All signs point, however, to a largely settled side for Sunday's contest. The predicted lineup reflects Arteta's preference for control, technical quality and balance across the pitch. Predicted Arsenal 11, 4-3-3 Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, Martinelli. Injured, Dowman. Doubts, Calafiori, Hincapié. The match takes place at the Emirates Stadium, home of Arsenal, with kickoff scheduled for 4:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Sunday, January 25, 2026. Arsenal host Manchester United in a fixture that could carry significant implications at the top end of the Premier League table. Coverage will be live on Sky Sports. Mikel Arteta makes exciting prediction for £27 million Arsenal star, he will reach new levels. Mikel Arteta insists William Saliba is still a long way from realizing his full potential and is adamant he will reach new levels in the years to come. The France international joined the Gunners from Saint Etienne 7 years ago in a £27 million move and was expected to make an instant impact at the North London club. Instead, the then-teenager was immediately loaned back to his boyhood club and upon his return struggled to win the faith of Arteta, who had succeeded Unai Emery. Further loan spells as Nice and Marseille ensued before he was finally given a first-team opportunity at the start of the 2022-23 campaign. After making an eye-catching debut against Crystal Palace, Saliba has been a constant presence at the heart of Arsenal's mean machine, and his partnership with Gabriel Magalhaes is considered to be one of the strongest in European football. And now 24, Saliba is approaching the peak of his career, and Arteta is adamant there is plenty more to come from a player who committed his long-term future to Arsenal by signing a long-term contract last year. That's something we have to continue to evolve. The game will change, the opponent will adapt, and we have to find other ways to help them, said Arteta when asked if Saliba had been demonstrating a new side to his game in recent weeks, particularly in possession. The backline is going to have to take more responsibility to break teams down, and especially in the way most teams set up against us, they're going to be really important. Asked specifically where the centre half could improve, Arteta added, "Will he? So much in every area I look at him, there is so much growth and potential there. He really wants it, and I think he will go to different levels in the next few years. In both boxes he can be much better, and then everything that goes from box to box in his leadership, in the way he commands the line and the way he makes adjustments to the backline. There is a lot, and with Gabby they found a great partnership, but he can form other partnerships as well, and his status in the team has to grow." Arteta, meanwhile, has challenged Arsenal supporters to create more energy and more positiveness in the club's pursuit of a first Premier League title in 22 years. Arsenal host Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium on Sunday in the best shape to end their barren league run since Arsène Wenger led the Invincibles to glory more than 2 decades ago. However, Arteta's side have played out 2 goalless draws in their last league fixtures, at home to Liverpool and then at Nottingham Forest, to fuel an already anxious fanbase. Arsenal have finished runners-up for the past 3 seasons. But, speaking on the eve of another pivotal match in his side's title tilt, Arteta said, "It is not about calming the fans, but it is about continuing to do what we are doing really well and try to evolve every single day to be better." So, from their side, it is continuing to do what they do in the stadium. Create more energy, more positiveness around the games in each action, and if we do that and we create that kind of a scenario, we are going to make it more and more difficult to the opponent, and that is going to help us to win more games. Michael Carrick started his interim United tenure with an emphatic 2-0 win against Manchester City at Old Trafford last weekend. "They are so good in a lot of departments," continued Arteta. "It is clear that when that team has the space to run and certain players to activate their runs, they become lethal, and you saw that a few days ago in Manchester. Michael coming in will bring new ideas. Always, the intensity rises up. And you could see that in the Manchester Derby, the kind of behaviors and the game that they played, so we will expect a really tough match and we'll adapt to that for sure. But we are at home and we know how important that game is for us.